Welcome to the PFS Network podcast. My name is Mitch, and I'll be your host for an important new series where we speak to patients, families, and clinicians about the devastating impact that post-finasteride syndrome has had on many lives. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by Aksh, a 25-year-old Canadian man who unfortunately has been dealing with some debilitating symptoms as a result of taking the hair loss drug finasteride for several years now. Before taking finasteride, Aksh was a happy, healthy young man studying a business and law degree. So again, we're pleased to be joined by Aksh today. Aksh, welcome.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Thank you for joining us. So why don't you tell us when you first started taking finasteride for hair loss?
The first time I took it, I was 18.
Just walk me through that process of learning about the drug and then how you accessed it.
The first time I heard about it was when I was 16. So I went to the general physician, and then I was losing my hair. Like it was falling. Like you get the male pattern baldness itch. Like you probably know what it is too, right? And my hair was falling
Mm-hmm.
out a lot, and then I went there, and then yeah, like he pretty much told me you can try like Rogaine, which is like minoxidil, and then you
Mm-hmm.
can try Nizoral. Yeah,
Shampoo, yep.
yeah,
Yep.
apparently like that blocks like androgens like at your scalp or something like those two, and then you told me about finasteride, and like finasteride like it's like the first thing that pops up when you Google how to stop hair loss. Like I kind of knew about it, but like he pretty much like he told me like it'll stop your hair loss and like how he was on it, but like he didn't really tell me anything about the drug. But like yeah, that was the first time like I really heard about it.
So that was your GP or your dermatologist?
That was my GP. So he was trying to convince me to take it because like he'd been on it for like a lot like 10, 15 years because like he's old he's probably like in his 50s or 60s, and like he started taking it like when he was in his 40s probably.
And so what happened from there then? So you learned about the drug when you were 16. You first started taking it when you were 18, so a couple of years later.
Yeah.
So what was that process like, and were you warned about the potential for any side effects or persistent side effects from taking the drug?
No man. Like they treat finasteride like it's like Tylenol. I would say like they treat it like it's nothing, you know. So he like my GP wanted to give it to me, but like I personally like I assumed that the dermatologist would know more about the drug. I didn't want to like even at 18 like you're still pretty young, so I was still kind of worried about it. But like I got the referral to the dermatologist, and same thing with him. Like they don't really tell you anything. Like they don't even talk about like the sexual side effects. Even that he didn't even say anything about that. He told me like he like don't even read about it online. Like don't even search it. So you just assume it's safe.
Right, and you, I guess, assume that any on-drug side effects will resolve when you stop taking the drug.
Yeah, like you don't think too much of it, when you first take it, because like the way they tell you, like they don't explain the drug at all. They don't talk about side effects. They don't even tell you like what it does. Like all they tell you is that you take this pill, it stops hair loss. You know, and it's kind of scary because a dermatologist doesn't really know. Like he's not an endocrinologist. Like you wouldn't like a dermatologist shouldn't be prescribing like hormone altering drugs. Like it doesn't make sense in my opinion. Like they don't like have the knowledge for that. So
So that was your experience then. You weren't warned about any on-drug side effects by your GP or your dermatologist. No, none. Okay, so tell me about when you first started taking the drug. Then what happened? Did you experience adverse effects straight away, or did they take some time to set in? Did you
yeah,
experience any adverse effects when you were on the drug, or
yeah.
talk to me about that?
So when I first started it, for like the first year and a half, I guess I'd say, maybe even like close, yeah, the first year and a half, like I felt kind of like I felt pretty normal, but like throughout the first year, honestly, it was like I couldn't really tell a difference, but like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like around like the second year, like I started getting like fatigue, like I started getting tired, and I started feeling like super like my motivation got lowered, and like I just felt more sleepy, like I wasn't as sharp, and like I didn't have like the same energy I felt. And then I went to like the endocrinologist, and then he told me about like because I told him like I took finasteride for like hair loss and stuff, and then like I was kind of like worried telling him about it because like at the time I still wanted to keep my hair, like because like I wasn't fully like even though like I was feeling like some like side effects like I didn't know if it was just like the finasteride or not, like you know what I mean, like it's hard to
Right, right.
like
So you weren't even really associating
yeah like, it
the
was
fatigue or the low motivation with the on drug side effects of finasteride because you weren't warned about any on drug side effects.
yeah like it was like it was hard to like like because even now people still deny it, right? So back then it was even worse. So then I went to like the endocrinologist, and like he was like the first guy to like kind of tell me about finasteride because like he knows hormones, right? He was actually like a good doctor, and like he told me about it, and like he told me like he sees a lot of patients that they come in, and like they're super young, and like they have all these sexual problems, like same issues as me, like I had sexual problems too, and like fatigue and all that, and like and then he told me about it, and then like he told me that like I can still keep taking it if I don't want to lose my hair because I still didn't want to lose my hair, but then he gave me like hormones to like try because my testosterone was low, like my DHT was low, like, and then yeah he gave me like like hormone replacement therapy, and like with that like HCG and the testosterone like I felt like fully like I felt fine, like everything came back, and like everything was
Right,
good, life was good after that.
right. And so you're still on the drug at this point. So when did you, what happened from there then? You obviously made a decision at some point that, you were going to stop taking the drug. So what brought that upon? Did you start experiencing side effects again? Talk to me a little bit about that.
So like I kind of stopped like pretty randomly because like like I was still worried about my hair loss, but like my hair started like it was still falling out. My hair still looked fine because like I didn't have a receding hairline. I just had like my
Hmm.
hair was just like thinning out at the back, and like so like in pictures that looked fine, but like I would avoid pools and stuff like that just because my hair was so thin, and I would always keep it like short. So like but I was still losing my hair. So then like March 2019. So that was like probably like close to 5 years on the drug. Like I had taken breaks before then, like randomly, and like I never got PFS. But like this time, like I quit the drug for a little while. Like half it was out of like laziness because my prescription ran out, and then some of it was because like I didn't really care as much. And then yeah, I quit the drug, and then that's when I crashed. Right. So
In 2019, even though it was laziness that, you stopped taking the drug, were you experiencing those on drug side effects at that point? Were you still experiencing the low motivation, the fatigue, those sorts of things? Or were you pretty fine at that point?
like I had noticed like people are gonna find this kind of weird, but I had noticed like even while on the drug, if I would take like a day or two off finasteride, like I would feel better. Like I would have more energy, I would sleep better, sexually everything was better. Like my libido was higher. Like I was happier. Like mentally everything was better. Like I was sharper. Like I noticed that like if I would take like a day off, like skip a day, skip a couple of days here, I would just feel better. Like in general, everything was better. But like I couldn't complain while on the drug. Like I still felt like everything was still good.
Right, right. And so 2019, then you stopped taking it. What happened then?
So like that's when I crashed. Like that's when like everything got bad. Like
How long before you kind of
well yeah you're
experienced that dramatic worsening? And then also, like, if you could just walk us through these new symptoms that appeared for you.
yeah. So after I quit, like I had like a 1 week period where like I felt amazing. For me that's how it was. Like for like the 1 week period after I quit, I was super happy. Like libido was higher. Mentally, I was sharper. I had more energy. Like physically, I felt stronger. Like even when I would like go play sports or like go to the gym, I could push more weight. I guess you could say. Like I had more confidence. Like nothing stressed me out. You could even say that. Even talking to people, like I didn't stutter. Like I just felt good. Like for like a week. Like every girl looked cute. Like your libido's it's so high. Like everything looks amazing. Like you know what I mean. Like you just feel
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Like for a week. Like
Yep.
yeah.
So, you were on the drug 2019, felt pretty fine, and then you come off it, and for a week you feel even better, you feel amazing, you're full of energy, full of libido, super androgenic. And then what happens? What happens next?
After that, then that's like the crash. For me, it happened like a week after I quit the drug. So like overnight, like everything changes. Like I became super anxious.
Right.
Like the first thing that I can like tell you that I'll never forget is like the heartbeat. Like the racing heartbeat was like crazy. Like it feels like your heart's gonna explode out of your chest. Like you're so anxious. Like the suicidal thoughts, like they come overnight. You can't sleep. The insomnia is crazy. I got muscle twitches. They're so severe. Like like I felt like even on like my chest, like the twitches were so severe. It felt like it was making like you know how your heartbeat's already like pounding, like the twitches on top of it made it even worse. And then like it felt like the muscle was dying, kind of you could say. And then all of a sudden like you feel like you're disconnected to like what's around you. So like you call it like derealization, right? So like with derealization, like you don't feel like connected with your surroundings, and then like it's overnight, and like sexually, obviously, like penile shrinkage, all that. And, like I had shrinkage overnight, like almost, like overnight, like my penis shrank. Like so, yeah, like you can't get erections. Like your erections aren't the same. Like even muscle wastage. I got muscle wastage. Like even like my body fat, like I gained more fat like across my body. It's like mainly like my legs and like in my
Mm-hmm.
like lower belly. I didn't really have fat there before, but like with PFS, like like
Mm.
I pretty much lost muscle and I gained fat. Like I think my body weight isn't too much higher than what it used to be, but like my body composition, I guess you could say, and like my joints kind of like my joints hurt, things like that. Although that's gotten better, but like at first, like it was like a rapid change. Like your bones would always be cracking, and like dry skin. It made like my skin like it's like I noticed it like mostly like on my forearm and stuff. It gave me like old people's skin, loose, thin. Yeah, that's probably the best way to explain it.
We're still sort of in the middle of this like dramatic onset of symptoms. So what about any neurological symptoms? I know you mentioned like suicidality.
I had even now I still have it. You get intense brain fog. So like it's hard to explain brain fog to people and like derealization and stuff like that. So like the best way I can explain it is like you probably all played video games. So like when you play video games, you can play first person or you can play third person. It's like like the way I feel right now in my body, like I feel like I'm in third person. So like you don't like it's I feel like I'm kind of watching myself do things. Like to like a normal person doesn't make any sense, but like you don't feel like connected to your surroundings. You just like it's hard, it's so hard to explain to people, but like that's like the best way I can explain it. And like the brain fog, it's kind of like imagine like you thinking about something, and then like someone just wraps like a towel around your brain.
That first sort of period, that's obviously that's pretty frightening for you then, because you've just come off this drug and you you know within 2 weeks you get much worse and you develop all of these new symptoms that you weren't experiencing on the drug. What how like what were you thinking at that point?
I thought my life was over, man. Like when it first happens, like because like you're never gonna be the same after that. Like obviously I held out hope, but like it's hard, man. Like to accept that. Like I don't think I'll ever accept it because like it's impossible. Like I know some like if you're not like if you don't get hit like that like super hard, like if I just had like a few sides like I'd still like, obviously every part of PFS sucks. You know what I mean? Even if you like people say if you just get like sexual sides or whatever, like it's not as bad. But like, let's be real, it still affects your life like crazy. If you can't have sex, like you can't. It's hard to have relationships. Like even just that, like it's tough. And like I knew right away, just the way I got hit, it's hard to accept. Like, like I just
Yeah,
try to like
very,
avoid thinking about it, but like it's impossible.
yeah, very much so. So that was in 2019. So
But one thing I just wanted to talk about, just about the crashes. Like I had two crashes because like I was also I think I've told you this before, but I was also on dutastride. So I had that one crash in March 2019. That one it was bad, but like the second crash I had, the symptoms that I already had just got way worse. So like I didn't really get new symptoms, but the symptoms that I had got worse. Because that drug you only have to take once a week, so it's not as big of a, like for me that's what I used to take. So like it wasn't as big of a commitment. So I was still kind of on that, and like like the weird part is I don't want to go too long, but like for me when I would go back on finasteride, I would feel better for like a little while. So like the first year after like the March 2019 crash, like I would go through periods where I would feel like somewhat like okay, and that was when I would take finasteride or when I would take dutasteride. So like it would give me like a 1 week buffer where I would feel good. So like I was still like kind of like living life at that point. But when I had the second crash, when I fully came off everything, when I kind of accept that taking these drugs long term is not going to work, because even though I was still taking them, like I was cycling them. So like I would feel better for like a week, but overall I was still deteriorating. So like the effects of it was wearing off. And then when I fully quit in like January 2020, like that's when like the second crash happened, and it was just the first crash, but like way worse. Symptoms were the same, but it was just worse.
Talk to us about where you're at now then, and what symptoms are you currently experiencing, and have things got better? Have they got worse?
Overall, like I haven't improved that much. Like it's like every day, like when I go to sleep, it doesn't feel like I slept at all. Like and like it's hard, man. Like just to like function like that for like years and years, it's impossible. And like most of the symptoms, like every symptom's there, man. Like everything, like so, like
Mm-hmm.
neurologically, like like the derealization, depression, suicidal thoughts, brain fog, all that, it's still there. And like mentally, like I still have like anxiety. Like I don't like I'm not the same. Like before, like I even have trouble looking people in the eye now. Like what I mean? Like it's hard. Like it's hard to
Mm.
explain. But it's like like my brain capacity now is not even close to like how it used to be. Like before, I was smart. Like I wasn't the smartest guy, but like I felt like I was pretty smart. But like now like I'm not bright anymore. So, like and people pick up on it too. Like when you talk to people, like they pick up on it. Like before crash, like when I went to university, I could do things. Like I could still take classes. I was still completing my degree. But after crash, like I went back, and I just couldn't do it. Like it was like
Mm.
impossible to learn. My social life is pretty much like I don't like it doesn't really matter to me anymore. Like having friends and stuff, like it's whatever. Like nothing really, like I don't really care about anything. Like nothing really matters. It's kind of like what's the point? Like you don't really get any joy out of anything. Anadonia, however you pronounce
Mm-hmm.
it. So
Anhedonia, yeah.
you don't get like any sense of like accomplishment out of doing any tasks or anything. So it's like if you don't have that, like like mentally or neurologically, like or whatever, like it's impossible to like even like have like the drive, to do things. And like yeah, that's like those are like some parts, and then obviously the insomnia and like all that. But now like I can fall asleep, but like the sleep is so bad. Like the quality of sleep
Mm.
is really bad. So you can sleep 10, 12 hours, but when you wake up, you felt like you slept 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Like every day, you wake up, it feel like a train hit you, and and out of like my day, I'll only have like an hour or two where like I feel mentally like even then I don't feel sharp, but like where I feel like I can like do things, and after that I'm like
Right.
I'm worn out and I'm done.
Right.
And then sexually, obviously, shrinkage, libido, testicle, like my testicles are kind of shrank. All like I can't get erections. Like it's hard to get an erection. Like after really like it's impossible. And like orgasms, like you don't really feel anything, and like it's numb, right? And like you get cold genitals. So like
Mm.
it's super weird to explain to people, but like parts of like my genitals will just be cold, like all the time. It'll just be cold. And physically, like obviously, joint pain, muscle wastage, fat gain, metabolism slow, so like you don't feel hungry, you don't feel as strong like physically. You don't have the energy, fatigue, like you can't physically exercise anymore. You know what I mean? Like you can't like I can't play sports like I used to. My hand-eye coordination's trash compared to how it used to be. Like even if I try to go play ping pong, or like even swing a bat or something, like it's my hand-eye coordination's terrible compared to how it used to be. And
Yeah.
like if I go and play like video games, like I quit playing video games because I'm not as good as I used to be, and it frustrates me when I play, because I know I should be better at these things, but like I'm so hampered Like it's just annoying to do those things. Like they're not enjoyable anymore. And even one weird thing, like this isn't like it's not. I don't really care about this one, but like my hair doesn't fall out anymore. Even one other symptom that's weird, like no one talks about, is like you stop responding to like drugs.
Mhm.
So like I
Mhm.
was on modafinil, which is kind of, it's not Adderall. Adderall is kind of strong. So but modafinil, like it's like a stimulant, right? So like it keeps you like energized, and like I was on it before like the crash, but after the crash, like it stops working. It wouldn't affect me at all. Like coffee
Mhm.
wouldn't affect me, alcohol wouldn't affect me, nothing. It felt like I was drinking water.
Obviously, quite a it's a long, very long list of symptoms that you're experiencing. What kind of effect has that had on your life? Obviously, quite a massive effect.
Yeah, like every part of my life, man. Before my life was amazing, bro. Like 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 I had nothing to complain about, man. Like I live in a great country, like I was going to school, like nothing, like I had absolutely nothing to complain about. You know what I mean? And like nothing could really bother me. You know what I mean? But like now after PFS, every part of my life is gone. I feel like I died in a way. You know what I mean? Like I had a life before PFS, and I have this new life now. Like they say like athletes die twice. Because when their career is over, and after their career, it's kind of in a way with PFS. It's not like your life. I don't have many friends anymore, because like you with PFS, like you're not gonna go out. I don't get any enjoyment out of like hanging out with people. So like my friends are kind of gone. Obviously relationships are gone. Like before, like compared to before PFS and now, you don't even feel any need to like get into a relationship, because you can't, like it just seems pointless. Obviously financially, you can't get a job like how you used to be. The only job like I could do now is like a part time, like on the weekends, which like I'm gonna have to go back soon, because I don't know how much longer I can just right now I have cool parents, at least like they let me live at the house because they understand the situation, but eventually I'm gonna have to do something, and everything just seems so difficult, man. Like it's like it seems like what's the point? What's the point of even like being a member of society, like if like you don't get any satisfaction out of it anymore? And like it's like it's hard to live like this, man. But yeah.
You mentioned your family there. Have you you've obviously told your family. What kind of information was out there about PFS when you first told them about this? Did they accept it? What kind of information was available for them about the condition?
So like the first thing, obviously, when you tell them right away, like they're gonna be kind of skeptical about it, because the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna Google it, and then when you Google, like my parents aren't like the most educated, so like they kind of like they just lean off, like I have a sister, and like the first thing she did was Google it, and they're like iffy on it, they're 50-50, because like the first thing that comes up is an article calling us delusional. They're gonna read that stuff, and it's gonna put like doubt in their mind. Like if that's human nature, how could it not? It's easier to just think someone's insane, or like someone's just making things up, than a pill could cause all this. It's hard for people to wrap their heads around, especially if they've never personally like dealt with anything like that, or especially now, like you just hear like anti-vaxxers and things like that. So like they kind of group us in, like with people like that.
And so, what was your experience like when you went and reported this to your doctor?
Yeah, so that was the main issue, because when I first got PFS, or like when I first told them about PFS, so like because like the first year I didn't tell them about it. So like from March 2019, when I had the first initial crash, to January 2020, I didn't tell them. Like I only told them after I got like the second, like the dutasteride crash. After that, I told them, and like uh, after that, then we went to like the doctor, because they pretty much told me, they're like, you gotta come like to like the family doctor, and like because they've been going to him for so long. So like the way it works is like, especially here in Canada, people hold doctors to like a really high regard. So like for them, like the family doctor meant like a lot to them. So we went to get, like they came with me, just to explain it to him. Like my dad came with me, and and then yeah, like he kind like my family doctor denied that this could even happen from finasteride, and because he's been on it for so long, and like he kind of told me like he kind of told my dad and me because we were there together that like he told him that I'm going through anxiety. So like he just tried to give me like an anti-anxiety medication, and like that was pretty much it. And like besides that, he pretty much just like kind of laughed at me and like smiled, and like he didn't take it seriously at all, man. Like he just thought I was like crazy or something.
Did he report your adverse drug reaction to a regulator? Or...
I doubt it, bro. Like I don't think so. I think he just kind of like he just thought I was nuts. Basically, that's all it was. Like he didn't take it seriously at all. He didn't even like he didn't like he didn't think about like referring me to a specialist or anything like that. And that was pretty much it. Like that was kind of a slap in the face. Like I haven't been back since.
Well, Aksh, we really appreciate you coming on today and telling your story. And obviously, we're terribly sorry that this has happened to you and affected you so profoundly. But thank you very much for speaking up and coming on the show today.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing. Everything with the PFS network. You guys are like the only hope that we really have. Like we have hope, but like with you guys doing what you're doing, without you guys, like we wouldn't really be getting anywhere. So, thanks for everything you guys are doing.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. Thanks for watching today's episode. Please like this video, and if you're new to our channel, subscribe and check out our other content, and stay tuned as we'll be releasing lots of new content over the coming months. You can also find us at our website, pfsnetwork.org, or on Twitter, @pfsnetwork. If you are a PFS patient or the loved one of a PFS patient, please consider donating generously to upcoming scientific research. You can learn more about our latest study and donate by heading over to our website using the link in our description below. Thanks for watching and take care.